Day 5 of tasting a different Canadian wine every day until we get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't hit that subscribe button on YouTube, please do that now. If you're tuning in from Instagram or Facebook, head on over to our YouTube channel. It is our new channel, and we'd love to spread the Canadian wine love over on YouTube. So help us out. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. And Carl Boucher.
Here you go. And we are going to Niagara-on-the-Lake, this time on the 4 Mile Creek, South Appalachian. And we are tasting Bella Terra Vineyard Meritage from the outstanding 2020 vintage. So this is really darn good. This is big. This is juicy. This is the proof that no matter where you are in Canada, in the grape vintage, you can ripen some of the biggest grape varietals available. Okay, so this is 40% Cab Franc, 25% Merlot, 25% Cab Sauv, and a fantastic 10% Malbec. So Mira, I think I should pour you a glass of this bad boy. This is absolutely amazing. I tasted that wine on release in 2020, early 2023 or 2020. Yeah.
22. We had the first taste notes from you were in 2022.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pre-release in Carl Wine Club. Like we got some crazy pre-release pricing at the time too.
Because we tasted all of these varietals in barrels when they were sitting in barrels at Bella Terra at the beginning of our amazing relationship that we have with the winery, and we taste them all separately. I tasted the Merlot, the Cab Franc, the Malbec, all of them in barrels. And when they came out of barrels, they absolutely blew my socks off. I mean, the Cab Franc 2020 was one of my top 10 wine of the years, maybe 3 years ago. I think it was in my top 5. The Cab Sauv that we're going to taste tomorrow as well with a bunch of members on a Zoom call with Fred the Proofreader and Marcel Morgenstern. Absolutely amazing from the 4 Mile Creek. And this Meritage, what I noted in my notes when they came out on release is this wine might be the most fascinating of the 4 wine.
It was a little slower to get going, right?
Yeah,
like
it was.
Like the other ones, the straight varietal Cab Franc.
Cab Franc opened up right away.
Right away, yeah.
He was like a genuine little boy, like already like jumping out of the bottle, like a charm. The Cab Sauv had also some approachability to it, and the Merlot and the Meritage had a little bit of pushback, a little bit of restraint, and now it's starting. This is starting to open up, and holy smokes, this is so good. Oh, and the nose, I truly get the Cab Sauv on the nose on that graphite, that pencil lead just pops up really nicely, but there's also some floral and earthiness and savoriness on the nose. A little bit herbal, but not the green type of herbal. I mean, just like that little sage who's coming out, and a ton of plum. So, yeah, I can walk you. Let's taste it, okay?
Oh, I already did.
You did. You did.
Yeah,
let's taste it.
Okay. I'm all over it. I love this wine. I agree with them. You know, like it's got a beautiful mouthfeel.
What a nice mouthfeel. Wow. The tannin. Now you just see my mouth, right? While the tannin are still very much there on the forefront, so that's mean this wine is still young, okay? The mouthfeel is getting softer and softer. It's not as aggressive as it used to be. This wine is heading in the right direction. Holy smokes. Yes, past the mid-palate, the tannin are still a little bit grippy, but it's silky. Really silky. It's soft on the forefront. The alcohol, which is 14.9% alcohol, doesn't show that high on the palate. Definitely not. I cannot smell the alcohol. I cannot, like, it doesn't smell boozy, not even a bit. It doesn't taste boozy, not even a bit
No,
as well.
gorgeous.
The oak, it's been, this one was aged 20. All of the different components were all aged separately for 20 months in neutral oak. Not all neutral oak, I believe it's dominantly neutral oak. I would guess that probably there's a 20-25% new oak in there. Maybe a barrel of this, a barrel of that came out of new oak. Because there's definitely some oak perception in there. This is really soft.
Yeah.
Like, this wine can age another
So
10 to 15 years.
absolutely. And on release, you called it, what'd you say, an iron fist and a velvet glove?
That's what I said, eh?
And it still has a bit of that quality, I think. It's still kind of like that, like so powerful but suave.
I totally agree with you. Jeez, that you portrayed that so well. This is exactly it. It's still,
this is the bad boy here.
Here, grippy, right? But yeah, you can see what's coming out because the front palate is just so soft and silky. Let's talk about Bellaterra a little bit, because we've been developing that long-lasting relationship with these guys, which are they absolutely phenomenal. If I have to rate my top 5 winery team in the winery, there is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that Bellaterra makes the top 5.
Yeah,
no doubt in my mind. Service-wise at the winery.
Oh, yeah.
Winemaking team, customer service, wine club.
And overall, the quality of the wines year in, year out. This is a family-owned, independent winery doing amazing stuff.
And there's some resemblance with Hester Creek that we talk about yesterday. We tasted the Y, one of their top premium at Hester Creek. But just like Hester Creek, Bellaterra produce maybe around 80,000 cases a year. Maybe not that much, but maybe a little closer.
Yeah.
And they're not one of the big guys. And they offered entry level, well, the lower price point wine at a very high level.
As in really great value for what you get.
Exactly. And they also produce outstanding premium wine. So just like Hester Creek, like, you can find everything, all and everything on the whole spectrum of the price point. That's what really, really attract me with Bellaterra, because you remember the Chardonnay Shirley's, one of the first ones that we ever tasted from Bellaterra, and I was like, that's the one.
Carl loved that wine, and then he got the price point, and it was like $22 or something.
I know, right?
And he's even more excited because that's such a great wine for that price point. No, they make such fantastic value, and then when you get to the big dogs like this, like what we're going to be tasting with the winemaker, this is Fred here in the black jacket. That's the winemaker Fred DeProfio. Marcel Morgenstern's the manager there, and Lou Puglisi is the owner. And they're out in Niagara on the Lake, which if you look at Niagara, right, it's 4 Mile Creek there, the pink one on the top right, right?
So exactly. So 4 Mile Creek is the very best appellation in Ontario to ripen the big, bold Bordeaux varietals. Why? Because the degree days, this is the warmest spot in Niagara, especially in Niagara on the Lake. So with the 4 Mile Creek, that not a lot of people know that you have the exact same degree days on the 4 Mile Creek on the good growing years that you have in Oliver, here in the desert in British Columbia. So a lot of people have that perception that Niagara, it's much cooler than BC, and they can't ripen the Cap Sauv, the Cap Franc, the Malbec. Why are they even trying? There's twofold to that. The 4 Mile Creek appellation doesn't apply to the 4 Mile Creek, because this is the warmest spot of the whole old Niagara Lake. And second, when you hit the right vintage, I would rather to harvest my Bordeaux blend, my Bordeaux varietals on the 4 Mile Creek than anywhere else in Canada. And 2020 vintage, 2020 vintage right here. It's the iconic recent vintage for the big bold wine. 2020 was the. Some of the people out there called it the vintage of the century. I mean, with the war, with the climate changed, warming up the planet, and this and that, people. So yeah, it's happened more often. But you know what? Good on for good for the Formal Creek, because more they can produce more of these kind of wine. But 2020 was an incredible vintage for the big reds. Maybe not so much for the Chardonnays or the Pinot Noir, because it might have been a little too hot, too dry for too long. But that's,
you get them big and bold, and then they don't age as well if they're the whites or the more delicate reds. But these big reds, like, that's brilliant.
Exactly.
Reds,
you know, we had some of the Stonebridge.
Yes.
You know, which is a vineyard not far from Bellaterra.
Yeah.
From the 2020 vintage. And the same, their Merlot, the Cap Sauv, the Cap Franc are all like incredible. Almost right across the street from Bellaterra is Ice Cellar.
Yes.
Which they're known from one of the very best big red producer in Canada. So the Formal Creek is the top appellation to produce big, bold red, and this Meritage is the poster child of that. Holy smoke, that is good. I give it a 93 points on release, and I will have to say that maybe I have to add a plus on that. Maybe another half a point, very because good. This wine is aging exactly the way I was hoping for. It's not softened up too fast. You know, it's taking its time. That tells me that there's so much more to come. So much more. And yeah, I mean, that evolution, I think this wine is on step 2 now. Like the first step after release, I think it was just sit and hold. Don't touch that wine. Now, for the people who like their wine a little feisty, with the good tannin, I would say this wine is ready to go now. Now, I'm that type of person. I like my wine in their youth. I like my wine a little feisty. I love the tannins. At the front, at the back, I love the tannin. Not everybody. A lot of people likes just to sit on their wine for a while. And you know what? This wine will do just that. There's at least a dozen years of aging potential. And that's another myth that we have to dispel. That's another myth that people believe that Canadian wine cannot age. And this is the living proof what we can do here in Canada about aging our big Bordeaux blends. And this will age for at least 12 to 15 years. I have absolutely zero doubt about that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Cheers.
Cheers to that. I mean,
I love it. I love my big bold reds.
Yeah, sure. You know, you like your big bold reds even when it's warm outside.
Yes, even on a hot summer day.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Bellaterra, because we've done some pretty cool stuff with these guys. First and foremost, we did the Pan-Canadian Masterclass version. The first ever version of the Masterclass was at Bellaterra, which was the first time that two people have decided to put together a tasting from coast to coast and inviting all of the winemakers on site and bringing wine lovers from all over the country. Yes, we did that. We sure did.
Marcel Morgenstern and the team at Bellaterra, they were amazing. They
were so behind the project that they were amazing, and that was the first. And in the middle of that first ever Pan-Canadian Masterclass, people were starting to talk. I hope we can do that again. I hope we will do that again. And yeah, now we've done it 3 times and starting to work on the 4th. So yeah, that first one was at Bellaterra. And just like the picture we showed at Hester Creek yesterday, Bellaterra did the same kind of thing. They cleared out all of their cellars and their production facility. The setup was absolutely amazing. We also did an incredible welcome reception at Bellaterra for the Pan-Canadian number 3. They hosted the world of wine from across Canada. So that was pretty cool too. And I remember when I tasted these guys in barrels, it was in the cellar with Fred DeProfrio and a bunch of members as well and they have an incredible. So many times we've done some pretty cool stuff with that team, and every time it turns out. We also did a blending session.
Yeah, with members. So
yeah, that was a lot of
tank
fun.
Samples out and blend our own wines, and then they were judged.
Yeah.
Judged by Carl and the winemaker,
Fred
DeProfio.
Absolutely.
And, member one
was the Somme and the Maître D at the winery at that time. So okay, I need another step.
No, the member won the Tracy won because you guys judged the different blends we made. That's right. It's a really a perfect red to sit by the fire with. That's what it is. So, okay. Long and short of it, Carl Boucher, can you really make big bold reds in Canada?
There is absolutely no doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt. Especially in the right spot. And the 4 Mile Creek appellation is one of them. And even better, at the right vintage. And 2020 was the perfect vintage for that. So in short, in long, I would say Osoyoos in the South Okanagan, Oliver in the South Okanagan, Naramata Bench in the Central Okanagan. There's so many sub-appellation in our country where we can expect some amazing bold reds. And that's not a lot of people know that. And I'm so happy that we're going to discover that these days, in the next few days, because we have so much
and revisit it with our members, some of whom might already have the 2020 Meritage in their cellar.
Yep.
And some who just got it because it's been re-released for us for this tasting that we're doing on Thursday, and for members to discover over the next week after that as our featured wine.
Very, very, very little left.
Very
There's
little.
And then anyway, this wine was not made in a big quantity to start with. So an absolute beauty. From 93 to 93 plus points, this wine is just evolving slowly and nicely. And holy smokes, that big and bold, boisterous wine that I knew from the first time I tasted it is becoming a little bit more elegant, a little bit more approachable. And this is awesome. Wow. So
you didn't get the Meritage, Dana. That's okay. We'll share vibes with you. We've got it open here.
We're share vibes.
Come drive out.
Exactly. But the thing is, with our Zoom tasting that we're doing in a couple days with the winemaker, we have a short list of very rare wine that we're going to add onto the list, and this one is on it. So they might have a few bottles left. But I can't wait to chat with Fred about that wine. There's so many little things that I need to ask about the details of winemaking,
and I hope, Dana, that you got your wines, because it's 5:30 where you are. So
if it's not today, it's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For her, it might be tomorrow.
For her, I think it's tomorrow.
I know people
she
in
said
Calgary.
we didn't get. Maybe.
Didn't purchase.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so exciting.
It's gonna be good.
This is Bella Terra Vineyard.
Oh, she did get it. Okay.
There you go.
Yay.
The wine has traveled pretty fast, and amazing wine, amazing aging potential for a very long time, and let's see what's our tasting on Thursday is going to bring. But
we'll get the reactions of our members, who many of whom tasted it back in 2022, 23 when it was pre-release. By the way, the more I look back in time, the more I'm like, we had a heck of a deal on these pre-releases. Like, sometimes this is Carl's gift. He'll convince the winery to release a wine even before they think they're ready. They're like, well, we're not going to release it for 6 more months, but okay, for you guys, we will. And they haven't set their prices yet. So Carl just suggests something. And then we get to tasting it, and he's like, no, that was way too low. So there's been quite a few times where, as a club, we have gotten pre-release pricing that was good, 10, 20.
$20
in
some case, $20 a bottle less. And that's what Carl's Wine Club is all about. That's what it's all about. Finding some very rare wines that no one can get their hands on, finding some special pricing, and getting all of these amazing wine lovers together so we can share our passion, we can share details about wines that nobody know about. And yeah, so this is
so much fun.
So much fun.
Quick thing before we go, we have 2 ways for us to meet up over the next 6 months in person.
Yeah.
And it's going to be lots of fun. The Pan Canadian that we've mentioned a few times now, we are putting on hold for this year. We're rejigging it. It's going to be bigger and better than ever, and relaunching, because we did it for
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Bellaterra, Hester Creek, Siouan Staff were the 3 editions of the Pan Canadian.
So it'll be coming back with a vengeance soon. But this year we are taking members to Burgundy around the same time that we would have done the masterclass. So we are going to Burgundy. We have
in a special way, though, bringing Canadian Pinot Noirs and Chardonnay with us.
Dana is here. Dana's coming.
So that's a very special way to travel.
Yes,
absolutely,
it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
So what we wanted to say is that we have secured our chateau. We have ensured that there are fabulous. There are
I'm just bring. There you go.
There are fabulous caves underneath and everything, and they do have two suites, guest suites available on top of our group of 24.
Mm-hmm.
So cheers, Jared.
And you know why that happened? Because the owner of the domain, they said, "Oh, you can also take our house. We'll go live somewhere else. You guys can take our house also." So that is really cool. That is really freaking cool.
So we would stay there so that you guys get the suites that, the movie crews that have been
exactly, right?
in. Like, it's a really cool place that very well established family there, and has like a pool and an underground cave, and pretty fun.
The underground cave is the highlight of that domain, I believe. And they just brought some Musigny in the cave. In the last
we
couple
put that
weeks.
on our story today or yesterday. Pretty cool. So anyway, we mentioned that because there's been a few members reaching out saying, I'm kind of interested in going now that you have 2 more spots. So if that's you and you're tuning in, ask us questions. We can jump on Zoom with you, but we have room for you if you want to go. It's the first of its kind with our members, and of its kind in the sense that I don't think anyone else has gone to Burgundy with the mission of bringing Canadian wines and winemakers with us.
Canadian winemakers with them, so which is really darn cool as well, because Fabian Rice, owner of Ferox Winery, and Richard De Silva of De Silva Vineyard and Wineries are coming with us. Not only them, but their loved one, but their better half as well. So this is really epic.
So there's that. And then I was like, we've got a bunch of members coming out to BC this summer. We live in Summerland, right near Penticton. We can actually see the Naramata Bench right out this window right here.
Right there. I can see Tightrope.
We're right on the lake. And so we're doing these epic days, experience days. So August 1st, we're touring the Naramata Bench. We're going to 3 wineries, but not just going to a winery for a tasting, We're meeting with the winemaker. We're tasting barrels. We are walking the vineyard. We are doing really cool experiences you normally cannot do, and tasting wines that normally you can't taste. So it's a lot of fun. And then we have a private chef that started a couple restaurants in BC that are quite beloved. And he is going to do our lunches, and he's going to do our dinners by the lake. Absolutely. And I'm like, you know what makes those dinners when we meet with members? It's up to 12 members at a time. So small groups, transportation's included. You get a shirt, you get a class to take home. What makes those dinners extra fun is when we have like 50 bottles of wine available to taste, because why not? Because we taste the most Canadian wines on the planet. So then I'm like, what if we did our varietal marathons right before those touring days? So let's say for August 1st, we do our final varietal marathon event on the evening before.
On the Friday night.
If you're already in town, you're doing that touring day with us, you can stop by and check out the
100 Chardonnays open.
Many different wines open.
Right.
And then when we have our dinner with the chef and the lakeside here, we have many different options for pairing.
All of those wines are going to be open. All the wines are going to be open. So this is really, really exciting.
It makes it extra fun. And I think August 1st is the weekend that is also my birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally that calls for lobsters
That's not an
But,
option. That's Nova Scotia Lobster Weekend. That's Chardonnay Weekend. And this weekend, this year, we have a group of members coming to celebrate with us, just like last year. So that's going to be the Mira's weekend, and we are touring the Nirmata Bench this year. So
and then we have 3 other touring
to
days.
be epic, absolutely epic. So that's the in-person bucket list experience. So yeah, we've tasted today the big boy, the 2020 Bella Terra Meritage, and I give that wine a 93 plus point. Thank you. It was amazing.
Thanks for stopping by. So hit that subscribe button if you are on YouTube. Help us get to 1,000 followers. We started with about 412, I think. We're up to like 436. 436. Yeah.
436. Yeah.
Check here. So yeah, we would love every one of you who stops by here. Even later, if you stop by, you hear this, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, help us get to 1,000 so we can spread the Canadian wine joy and fun and discovery and put a spotlight on these amazing family-owned wineries.
Exactly, right? Should we bring a few, like maybe like winemakers in interview like that? I don't know if people let us know here in the comments if you'd like to see some interviews with some of these winemakers. That could be cool too.
So we'll be on at 4 o'clock Pacific indefinitely till we hit that 1,000 subscribers. Don't worry, after we do that, we will have more fun things to do. I mean, the fun doesn't stop there.
No, it's not. It's not. So hopefully we're gonna get it there soon. And if not, you know what? I'm fine to taste a great Canadian wines every day. Anyway, so yeah.
Just Carl spits, and I'm the only one that drinks. So at some point, some of you guys are gonna have to stop by and help me out here.
Oh, I mean now we're on day 2 of the wine from Hester Creek that we opened yesterday. Now, that's that rotation every day. So
to go BC, Ontario,
Yeah.
and maybe some Nova Scotia in there at some point. Maybe some Vancouver Island in there at some point.
I'm sure we will.
Maybe some Prince Edward County.
I'm sure we will.
Shore.
I'm sure we will. Similkameen Valley.
Oh yeah.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Thompson River Valley.
Thompson Valley.
Thompson Valley. Hey, why not?
Why not?
Because we like them from all over the country. So
all Canadian wines, world class Canadian wines. All right. Cheers, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Cheers.
Woo!
See you tomorrow.
See you soon.